Thank you all very much for having me this morning. It is an honor to come speak to Rotary clubs. I joined Rotary because of Colonel Jack Van Loan. Many of you know him. He's been an instrumental part of 5 Points and my mentor, and it was very important to him that I joined the Columbia Rotary Club. And it's through him that I've learned of the club, but I have been active and I love it, and it's become a big part of who I am. So thank you for letting me come today. Another big part of who I am is 5 Points, and so I wanted to just go over some of the things that we're doing lately, tell you sort of where we're heading, and then take questions, because everybody always has a lot of questions about 5 Points. And I love hearing about people's memories, because everybody has a special memory attached to 5 Points, and that's what makes us who we are. So to start off, I wanted to share a video that we made. I've been with 5 Points, like Murray said, for about 9 years. I started as an intern, was an intern for a couple of years, and then I graduated from school and took a job in Mark Sanford's office and was fortunate to still remain a contract employee. So 5 Points would hire me to help assist with events, executing things, because it's such a small operation, it's not always something you can do in-house. Then when our director at the time was thinking about leaving, she asked if I would come on staff and help transition. But of all the years that I've been in 5 Points, 2015 was by far the most incredible. In 2014, 5 Points decided to rebrand, the beautiful logo that you see at the top. And in our rebranding process, I discovered that 2015 was going to be our centennial. So in 4 very quick months, I researched and I went to City Council and County Council and asked them to be a partner in what we were planning to do for our centennial. They were both very gracious, came to the table financially, and supported us every step along the way. And one of the things that we did was a video. It's very short, and I'm hoping to show it to you today if you all don't mind. I'm going to talk for a minute while I let it download if y'all are okay with that. So 5 Points realized quickly, and with not a lot of time, that we were turning 100, but we wanted to take every advantage of this opportunity that we could. So we looked at this year as an opportunity for us to market ourselves, reinvent 5 Points, and remind everyone of what makes 5 Points so special.
I've been around this area for a long time, and I've always felt more comfortable with the atmosphere of 5 Points.
I think what makes 5 Points unique is that it sits in the middle of 7 neighborhoods, a cluster of mom and pop.
I'm going to pause it and let it buffer, and then we'll come back to it. Sorry, y'all.
Okay, that works.
So we wanted to work on rebranding, and then we wanted to do some beautification projects, because as you know, 5 Points definitely has some room to grow in terms of facade improvement. So we're going to go over some of those things today. I don't want to skip the video, but it looks like we're going to have to. We can come back to it at the end if y'all are okay with that. All right, so some of the projects that we started off with were the rebranding, like I talked about. We have everything from very simple trash can wraps to visitors guides, traffic box wraps, and the enhanced visitors guides, which are on your table if you want to take a look. The visitors guides were carefully planned and put all over South Carolina in visitor centers. We put them at the university so that when kids were coming into town and their parents were coming, that they could help connect to the community and provide lots of entertainment while they were there. We also took advantage of the opportunity to grow our social media, because as you all know, this is the direction that we're heading in. 5 Points has a unique opportunity in that we have our own individual platforms, the 5 Points Instagram, the 5 Points Facebook, but then we use our platforms to reach and grow our smaller, locally owned businesses. So while I have 19,000 likes on Facebook, some of my mom and pop places don't have that. So we help connect with our businesses to grow their social media by using ours, and that was huge. We saw our numbers grow exponentially. We also distributed these social media cards that you see on your table. We put those in registration packets, in visitor centers. We hand them out wherever we can, and it reminds people of our social media platforms, and it reminds people of our breakdown. A lot of times when you reflect on 5 Points, you think it's bars, it's restaurants. Well, if you look at your card, we're about half and half. It's very important that people remember that 5 Points is an ecosystem. We need a balance of bars and restaurants and service locations and retail opportunities so that our daytime and our nighttime can both stay vibrant, because one without the other is not as strong. Sort of like how our downtown Columbia works in general. When the Vista does well, I do well. When Main Street does well, I do well, because we're all one big family. We're all one Columbia. We also took our reach outside of Columbia and partnered with some large publications. Southern Living has been a dream of mine my whole life, and we had the opportunity to partner with a writer out of Greenville who writes for Southern Living, and she featured us in a couple of different exposés. One was a champagne bash at the Gourmet Shop. We also partnered through the Columbia Metro, the Convention Center, to do a Delta Sky co-op. A Delta Sky ad would cost about $18,000 for one print ad, which, as you all know, is absolutely ridiculous. Is that about the same as the prices in the Lexington Chronicle? Right there? So
Close.
through that partnership, we were able to do some shares with some of our local businesses, get 5 Points in Delta Sky, and we actually saw results from it. I got hits on my website and calls to my office about potential businesses that were looking to relocate to Columbia, because the 25-page spread that Delta did on Columbia really highlighted why we are so special and why South Carolina, and specifically Columbia, should be on one of your top travel destinations. We also worked with SCE-TV and PBS to do a show called Travels with Darley. They are an international travel show. It has shown twice now. You can watch the episode on our website, and it was shown in 8 countries internationally. Travels with Darley. Darley is the woman here. She goes all over the United States and picks locations, and she chose 5 Points for her location while in Columbia. So we filmed that last summer, and it aired this fall, and it was an amazing experience. And again, we're seeing people coming to our website and tweeting at us and calling, moving here, requesting visitors guides. That's all we want for Columbia. We want people to come here and see what we have and what makes this community so special. My favorite project we did was the 100 Influential People Project. I enlisted the help of an intern who was so good that she's now our social media person. We had her partner up with 100 different people from across the city. She asked to meet with them and interviewed them for a few minutes, asked them for a 5 Points memory, their favorite place in 5 Points, something that connected them to our district. We asked them to take a picture with us and sport some of our 5 Points swag. Some of it I brought here for you. And it was huge. The numbers that we saw, the click-throughs, the shares, the comments were amazing. And then we in turn had these people shared on their social media, helping to grow our reach. It was really special to hear people's stories. The city manager, the assistant city manager, all met their now husbands in 5 Points. Those are important memories, and it's important that while 5 Points turns 100 and we reflect on our last 100 years, that we're thinking about where we want to go in our next 100, and I think that these people are a very big part of that. We also saw a host of new businesses open. 5 Points is different from some of my other districts like Main Street, like the Vista, because they've got exciting new development, because they have room. They can grow towards the river. They can grow up North Main. 5 Points is a donut hole among 6 neighborhoods, which is a blessing and a curse in the same. It's a blessing because I have 6 neighborhoods around me that can walk down with their children, shop and dine on the weekends, hopefully not drive because we're chronically underparked. But it limits us with development. We can't grow up anymore, and we're full. So getting new business is not often, but last year we saw a ton of new businesses. Rise is one of them that I hope you've heard of. Sarah Simmons is a big-time chef. She owns a restaurant 2 restaurants in New York. She's doing a pop-up in Hong Kong. She was listed as one of the top 50 chefs in the United States. And she chose to come back to Columbia, where her parents live, and open Rise, and it's been amazing. Alton Brown from the Food Network came and tweeted that the chicken biscuit was the best thing he'd ever had in his life, and I don't know what better PR you can get than that. We have a really terrific clean and safe program in 5 Points because I can come speak to all the Rotary clubs in the world, and I can throw all of the successful St. Patrick's Day in the world, and I can recruit new businesses. But if the neighborhood is not clean and the neighborhood is not safe, then our neighborhood will not thrive. You will not come there if it's not clean and it's not safe. So while I show up to work every day, I don't think I'm the most important person in our team. I think that they're the most important people in our team. They are what we call our yellow shirt program. And that's not actually what they're called. We sort of pony-backed off the Main Street program so that the general public would understand that while they may not be the same company, that we're all the same goal. That we're all cleaning, we're all trying to get rid of panhandlers, keep the neighborhood free of graffiti, trash. So where 5 Points is going is extremely important because everyone that you ask has a different opinion. Well, 5 Points has an amazing opportunity to go in a million different directions, but without parking, that's going to be very difficult. We are over 220 parking spaces short, which is challenging. I don't know if you've ever tried to come to 5 Points and couldn't find a spot. You're shaking your head, yes, that gives me a pain in my stomach. You circle and you circle and you circle and then you give up, or you go home, or you go somewhere else. And that's not the experience that I want people to have when they come to 5 Points. So we are working with the City of Columbia on additional parking. Obviously the main goal would be a parking garage, but they're expensive and finding a location, like I talked about, we don't have a lot of room, is challenging. Yes, sir.
Lawson's Inn, wasn't that under consideration for a parking garage right behind it?
It was, before my time, it was one of the considerations, and I think that we aren't really ruling out anywhere. Parking garage is so important, but I think that we've got to get it 100% right. We're going to have to pick the exact right location. It's going to have to be well lit and safe so people feel comfortable using it. Centrally located.
By the height?
The height is absolutely a consideration in everything we do. A couple years ago, when I was an intern, 5 Points South was on the table, and that was the development at the site that was formerly Kenny's Auto. It's now Walgreens.
Right.
That didn't go through for a lot of reasons, but I believe the main one was because the neighborhoods around us felt like it was too high. Everything we do in 5 Points has to be a partnership. It's important to me that the dress store and the gourmet shop are as happy with me as the neighborhood is, because they're a partner in this, and it's the people's 5 Points. It's not just the business owners' 5 Points. So this parking lot is, this is what it looks like now. This is a rendering of hopefully what it will look like. Construction's been pushed back a little bit, but we would rather get it just right, use nice materials, have the ingress and egress perfect so that it's done right the first time, then get it done quickly.
Was there a boundary streets on that?
So what you're looking at right now is the spot that was Exxon parking lot right across from the fountain.
Yeah.
When the owner of Exxon sold, a developer bought it, and the developer was approached by the city to put a parking lot there. They looked at a lot of different options. Looked at a standalone building with a drive-through, but you can't have a drive-through because DOT owns Hardin Street. So there were a lot of obstacles. This parking lot is going to grant us 29 spaces, and 29 spaces is huge when you're that many short. So we're very happy that the city's considering this. We're happy that they're looking at us as a partner and allowing us to have a say, and hopefully this lot will be open. It was originally planned for the summer. We're thinking now hopefully more
So
towards
this is not a building,
Christmas.
this is just a parking lot?
Just a parking lot, a surface lot, yep. But the opportunity to build a garage later down the road, this could be redeveloped into something else should this parking no longer be needed. This parcel is a very strange shape, if you can see. A parking garage needs to go somewhere rectangular.
But you're introducing trees, and more green space.
Absolutely,
Right, so
absolutely. So
that'll be a major improvement.
yeah, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be landscaped with an urban feel, so it hopefully flow with the neighborhood. And we are partnering with One Columbia, which is the arts organization for the city, to do a mural on the wall where Pecknell is, that was exposed when Exxon went away. A mural of that size is about $20,000 to $25,000, and that's a lot of money when you're a small nonprofit. The 5 Points Association is entirely funded by,
It depends on who you have do it and how you have it done.
for sure, it's a huge wall.
I know, but you
Huge.
could pick different ways to do it that would cost you a lot less.
Absolutely. So we are funded by revenue from St. Patrick's Day, which, as you all know, is not guaranteed every year. Rainout could ruin us, and if we're not fiscally conservative and responsible, then we might not be able to keep going, but we hope that doesn't happen every year, right, Bud? Hope and pray. And hospitality tax funding, which again is not guaranteed. So we have to be very careful when we spend our money. It's not just our money, it's taxpayers' money. So when we look at projects like this mural, we look for partners. We were very lucky that Drip, which is a coffee shop in downtown, they have a location on Main Street, they have a location in Five Points. They're coming to the table and they're paying for half. And One Columbia is facilitating the process. So the mural hopefully will be done by the end of this year and will be a true reflection of partnership and the direction in which Five Points is heading. This is another project that I'm very excited about. This is Walgreens over here. This is Blossom Street. We are building a Centennial Plaza. It will be a two-part feature. One will be a bronze statue of Colonel Jack Van Loan, and I talked about it a little bit earlier. He was a POW in Vietnam for 6 years and is sort of the father of Five Points. He really built the association. He took St. Patrick's Day, grew it, made it what it is, made it an economic engine, not just for Five Points, but for our city. That festival has a $6 million economic impact on our city in one weekend. That's the equivalent of a home Carolina Clemson football game, and we only get one of those a year. And that Jack is responsible for all of that. Butch has known Jack a long time, and he is the spirit of Five Points. And so this bronze statue in our Centennial Plaza is a very small way for us to tell him how much he means to our community. And the other portion of our plaza will be a kugel. It is a 32,000-pound granite ball that you will be able to push and interact with. It'll be a water feature that you can rotate. It's going to be beautiful. We're very excited. People joke that 5 points, the goal is 5 fountains. Well, this will be our third. So hopefully we can keep working towards that. And a couple more successful St. Patrick's Day, maybe we'll get to that point. Yes, sir.
Have you, in this area, from the outside looking in,
Yeah.
That's where all the college, my perception, it's where all the college kids hang out, and that's the place that floods every time we get 2 inches of rain
Yes.
in Columbia. Let's set the college side apart. Is the infrastructure improved at this point? Has there been a solution found and put in place, Amy Beth? I don't know. We only hear about it when it rains, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yep, that's the only time we talk about it. The flooding, from when I started as an intern, the locations in 5 Points that flood have changed. So Salute Avenue used to be the hot spot for flooding. Now it's this block of Hardin, this block of Blossom, and the 600 block of Hardin, and it changes. Our merchants are good though, and they've gotten used to it, so they know how to prepare. They have their inventory built up on shelves. They have sandbags at the door. They all know each other and have a phone tree. I don't sleep when it rains. We've got some really good systems happening.
Okay.
Has it gotten better? Yes. Is it fixed? No. But we have good partners in the city. Missy Gentry is the assistant city manager. She is instrumental in helping us figure out a way. But the long-term solution, I don't know what it is yet. They've got a couple options on the table. We've got MLK Park there. There's a beautiful big park with a retaining wall, making sure that that's being utilized the right way, and that when it's full, we have alternative options. There are always different things we can look at.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. The Centennial Plaza, by the way, will be unveiled on Veterans Day on November 11th at 3 o'clock. You're all invited. It will be a great day for our city and for 5 Points, and I'll share more information with you as that gets closer. Another big exciting project is the beautification of our train trestle. It has taken me 3 years, and I'm very excited to say that we signed the contract on Monday of this week to do this project. This is a graphic design of what it will look like. We are hoping to make this a clean and safe gateway into our community, because right now it's hard to see if you're driving. The shrubbery is very overgrown. It's hard to see. It doesn't feel safe when you're on foot, and it's not visibly appealing. So we are working with the city and the train trestle, Norfolk Southern, to get rid of the vegetation, do some new plantings, scrape off the buttresses, resurface them, and repaint them. Unfortunately, we cannot do this part here. I know, disappointing. But other than that, hopefully this is what it will look like by mid-August. We also have one of the new student housing developments coming to 5 Points. There are a lot of them popping up downtown. We're very fortunate to have one in 5 Points. It's called the Station at 5 Points, and it will open fall of this year and will be home to 660 students. We're very excited about them coming. The students definitely add a vitality and a youthfulness to 5 Points that you can feel, and their energy in the neighborhood is something we want. And I think that where it's located at the end of Gervais Street, sort of at the end of our corridor, is going to really help bring in the 900 block of Hardin, that area, and tie that in. Because 5 Points is not just where the fountain is, the main fountain at Starbucks. That's not 5 Points. That's part of 5 Points. But we stretch all the way to Gervais Street, and this is an opportunity for us to further develop that area. This is a rendering of what it will look like, hopefully in a couple of weeks.
That's viewed from across the street,
Yeah,
diagonally across there on Hardin Street.
Yep, if you're at like Larry Lucas, State Farm, right there at the corner, this is what it will look like. So 5 Points is back this way. And then this is an example of development that has spurred since the station. This is a beautiful area that Richard Burt's developer in Columbia bought, and it's one of those, the very unattractive 5 storefronts on the 900 block of Hardin. He's turning them into some really beautiful yoga studios and other spa-like places down there. I think it has already started. The development down at that end has already started.